But yeah, good point bringing up Philly because um, I wasn't really specific with my verb noun agreement and my subordinate clause and my main clause of my sentences. So Tanya had been confused as to what I actually wanted, and then I had to get really specific with the five W's and tell her, when it gets warmer, I wanted to enjoy a glass of lemonade on her porch for 10 minutes. You know, when she gets the new house in Philly, and you know, and basically, I saw it as transactional only because I felt she saw it as transactional, um, because it's like she wants it to be over and done with. It's like, but that's not just her. That's like everybody. Nobody knows how to have like a real friendship anymore. And the thing is, it's just like I was experiencing in the Pentecostal Charismatic Group, or NAR group, as I now know it to be, out in Leola at Dave Kovacs, and what we perceived in the spirit realm was these these spiritual barriers made of like ancient symbols, ancient runes, so to speak, that would not let even people who knew each other very well speak to each other or speak to each other in depth. Um, and and the thing is, sometimes when it was done, these these barriers um, could be warped to the point where they could be uh, essentially, used against the person who was supposed to be, receiving like a nice message. And so, um, every time that Sergey said something to me, uh, he, he actually believed he was kind to me in his cruelty, and and he had this warped view that God was crying whenever we were happy, and that he was laughing whenever we were really sad and stuff like that. So anyway, um, but it had nothing to do with that per se, because we didn't deal with our own autism problems and stuff like that. Um, as far as not being able to describe things quote properly to people, even if they spoke good English and we spoke good English. You know, um, we just weren't that developed, or they just didn't make those kinds of things, interesting for us. But now there is no parts of speech. There is no speech. Period. There's no communication between people, and that's why I want to leave the country.